We are coming through okay. What's going on, everybody? If you are watching this on the replay, thank you so much for being here. We're just going to make sure the audio is coming through. And I believe it is. Looks like Merlin's Matrix Official is already in the chat.
Right.
I'm here with Darkestnyte. Sorry, I forgot to do the intro. You're such a regular on here, Darkestnyte. That's poor manners by myself.
Okay.
But first of all, how are you doing? How have you been? And then we can kind of jump into how season 2 has been for us.
Doing good. I mean, just trying to find that balance between playing too much and playing too little. That's been my challenge for this season. But all in all, it's been good. Again, at its foundation, I enjoy playing. Right. So regardless of all the other stuff, it's still a great game. So
it's fun, man. I can't. That addiction, that dopamine hit of just hitting the battle button, it's just like just one more.
It's just one more.
Which is so funny because, like, again, and I never made a video talking about this, but like I don't even see how much DEC I'm winning, right? So it's like it has nothing to do with that. It's seeing the little progress bar go up a little bit more every single time. And sometimes I'm not even paying attention to that. I just want to play.
So it's funny because you predicted that, right? Like way before the change when we were in QA, just seeing that.
Yeah.
Progress bar is awesome. So yeah, for sure.
No, it's been fun. So, well, tell me how the grind for you was this season. You seem like you made it to champ relatively quickly and easily compared to last season. Yeah. Or was it a little bit more of a struggle again this season?
So same struggle.
Same struggle. Okay.
So the funny part is, if you look at how many games that I actually play, it is far and above more than most people at the same ranking, right? Typically, I'm like double, maybe even triple sometimes. So I'm literally just brute forcing this thing, right?
Yeah.
Just click, 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 just keep going. And the funny thing I find is the longer I do that, the lower my win rate goes, right? So I really believe that's from I'm just kind of mentally fatigued, and so I just go for what I think is the best, the best team for that rule set. I don't even look at what my opponent's doing, which causes me to lose. You have to do that, right?
Yeah.
So it causes me to lose more matches than I should. So, but again, no big deal.
Okay. Well, the thing is, and you've complained about this privately to me, but obviously, like the ECR becomes a thing, right? Because it's just like you want to keep playing and you're just disincentivized. And the problem is I don't know how that is solved, because it's like it's funny because like you're one of the players, the true players who enjoys the game and wants to be a bot. Right? Yeah, so like you want to keep playing as long as you possibly can and keep getting something out of it, but they have to curb it somehow. But that's why I asked the question a while back, and even though it's a hypothetical, it's just like how much would a player like you be willing to pay to get your ECR back up or get, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you would be highly incentivized, whether it's staking more SPS or whether it's whatever. You would look at that and be like, oh, well, I enjoy this, so of course I want to get as much as possible out of it all.
Yeah. I mean, I think staking SPS is really, I think, the way to go, right? Because it shows an investment in the game, belief in the future. And again, it gives utility to having your SPS, right? Right now, I mean, there really isn't any, right? And just to, I mean, it's a simple thing, right? Hey, if you have such and such staked SPS, you get an increase in your regeneration rate. Super, well, from a development perspective, I don't know if it's super easy, right? But it's a thing that I think universally we would all agree on. Hell, even bots might stake SPS now. Who knows?
I mean, but here's the thing: I wouldn't be opposed to that, because if bots are locking up SPS in order to get better rewards, that to me is the same as bots using real cards, right? Real cards are limited, and real SPS, but SPS is limited. So I don't know what that calculation looks like, but it's, however, we have like maybe 800 million in circulation right now with maybe, we'll just say 100,000, 150,000 players. It's just like find like an amount that's not going to eat up everything, but would eat up a good or significant chunk.
Yeah, I think there's just been this narrative around the bots that they constantly take away from the economy. But I think, just based on what I've seen over the last month and a half, I think they're just as willing to participate in the economy in a different way, right? So, which is why I've always been bot neutral, right? You can see the kind of beginnings of that. They have their own community. They interact with our community, right? We talk, with them sometimes. Who knows? Maybe one day I might do that. But I believe that given opportunities, they will participate constructively into the economy.
Mhm.
Right? Just got to give them a chance to
Yeah.
do it their way, right? And there needs to be a return on an investment.
Mhm. It's funny because like I look at bots when I think about like bots, I'm just like, oh, they're leeches. But
Yeah.
the thing is like I'm not anti-bot by any means
Right.
because I believe in the decentralized ethos of what the game is. So I'm just like,
Sure.
okay, well, how do you incentivize the leeches to get,
Right.
to play fairly with everybody else?
Right.
And so, again, I don't it's interesting that the conversations I've had with people who run bots, because most people, to your point, are not trying to pull out of the game.
No, not at all.
So I was just talking with someone recently, and they're just like, yeah, like it was a way for me to like gather more assets and level up my
Yeah.
deck quickly. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Like if I was smart enough to like set up a bunch of bots, or if I wasn't too lazy, I could probably do the same thing and start leveling up my deck and getting all these rewards cards. Because essentially what we're all doing is just kind of like re-diversifying within the game, right? You buy certain, well, you and myself probably are similar where we'll buy cards and we don't really
Yeah.
like selling them, but sometimes I would consider selling in order to get a card that I need if I have one of two money.
I'm pretty sure you will never sell one of those Pellicore bandits, dude.
I'm not opposed to it. The Pellicore Bandit to me is the best flip, but again, I don't know. That's you know what? Now that I've been public about it, I've pushed the price up 20%, so I'm not buying anymore.
Really?
Well, it was 1 penny, and now the floor price is 1.2 pennies, right? So,
That's
and I will not pay more than a penny for a Pellicle Bandit.
okay. Excellent.
So like I have my bids in, and that none of them have filled. So I'm just like, all right, well maybe this experiment is over.
Yeah.
Sure, it's gonna go from like a 10x to an 8x, but I don't care. I'm only buying for a penny, and now it's probably the smarter thing for me to do to like take all that capital and actually buy cars that I need.
I was going to challenge you at some point on this stream Pellicore bandits are awesome, but
Mhm.
I think you should also do a summoner version of that and start collecting like specific summoners
Okay.
while
Okay.
they're cheap, right? I mean, that's the
While they're
thing.
cheap. Yeah.
That's the game.
Well, the thing is, and the kind of beautiful thing about this is that summoners will always have value from a rental standpoint as well as a land
Absolutely.
standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. So
So
that's the thing.
that's the fact that you can get what General Sloan now for $2.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I want to start, and maybe this is where the change will happen for me is as I start taking this capital, instead of buying Pellicore Bandits, I'll go and buy General Sloans or Thaddeus Brews, whichever ones were like at the $2 under $2 range.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, remember, you picked Bandit because it had really good utility and you use it all the time, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I don't know how often you use Sloan, or when I've watched your games, they were not very successful. So,
Well, let's talk about what was successful for me,
yeah,
because this experiment is coming to an end, and I figure we can kind of dig into it.
yeah.
Before we do that, though, let me just give a shout out to Justin, fellow guildmate over here. How's it going, Justin? Furious Chicken, what's Darkest Sound? What's going on, Gathering the Magic? Good to have you here. Furious Chicken Wibble, what's going on? Check out my video I just uploaded. So happy. Ooh, you're welcome for the Vampire Bat. Did you get a chance to see my video on locked loot chests, keys, and power potions? I have not. I will take a look at it as soon as I can, Gathering the Magic. But thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, I watch your stream as well. So good stuff.
Cool.
Actually,
So,
Chicken as well. I mean, they put together some really good.
oh
Content.
yeah, no, there's some great content creators out here. Okay, so I made it to champ again, and then I went after you took the kitty back. I went on a massive losing streak. So I'm back down, I think, in a diamond 2, maybe diamond. No, I think it's still diamond 2. I was just trying to brute force it. I was just like, let me play whatever I could play. But at that level, you're really up against the best of the best in diamond, trying to go for champion. And part of it was just like, okay, I was like, I need to go through this losing streak so I can get back to where I'm competitive again.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, I'm just not going to play the rest of the season, right? And so, actually, now I'm taking a break. That losing streak, I was like, okay, that's fine. Let me go ahead and just play on an alt account for the next couple of days and see how it goes.
I have a theory about that. So same thing happens to me. I went on a losing streak after I delegated you Kitty. Kitty spoils you big time, like huge, huge. And so it actually I found this even with me. It makes you feel like a better player than you actually right. And it's so OP, right? And even Yoden with the new cards that have come out,
Mhm.
it's definitely been tamed quite a bit, right? With the shield,
Yeah.
reflect shield. I mean, and people are using it, right? So if they see you're playing Yoden, you can guarantee you're going to see one of the reflect shield cards.
Okay, so I have a question for you
Sure.
because I I am curious. Ever since the beginning of my Splinterlands journey, right, or close to the beginning of my Splinterlands journey, I've always looked at Yoden as like the most OP, and I would say that market prices have somewhat dictated that
Yeah.
narrative as well, right? Like he's just usually towards the top. Kitty wasn't always. Now Kitty's kind of up there, and they're usually around the same. But having played with both of them, and now we've seen the balance that I don't want to call it a nerf because it's not a nerf to Yoden, but the
No, no.
balance has come to the game for Yoden. How do we balance Kitty? Is there a way?
Already.
Because by leaps and bounds, I could not do what I did. So that video where I posted where I spammed Byzantine Kitty, I could not do that with Yoden. I couldn't do that with Valnamore, right? Like and probably not. I mean, Llama's really only good at the lower levels, but it's like what how do you balance Kitty? Because I was shocked. I was shocked at the win streaks that was going on. And again, my cards are mostly Chaos Legion. So it's just Byzantine Kitty and a bunch of max Chaos Legion cards and Chaos Legion Rewards cards. And I was able to just brute force my way up to
Yeah.
the top with minimal losses here and there.
So I would say, if I had to guess, the best counter I think for Kitty is Quicks, right? So you
Okay.
take Quicks and then you add in Dr. Blight, same amount of mana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, well, one mana more, right? But you add in Blight, so that gets rid of the heal, right? The tank heal, and it slows everything down just a little bit. But what makes Kitty really devastating is there's always something that's beneficial, right? So there's
Mm-hmm.
the 2 speed, right? Which even by itself would be phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
Then you have was it True Shot or
True strike. I that one is just
yeah, it's ridiculous. So the thing is, you typically attack first. You're guaranteed to hit, uh,
mm-hmm.
and if you take any damage, you get healed up, right? So, but there are strategies for killing it. Like typically, backline attacks are great, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because once there's no team, it doesn't really matter
Doesn't
that
do
you have
anything, yeah.
one guy. But there are good strategies, right? And Kitty fits into just about everything. But yeah, but a mimosa is good, right? So mimosa will typically, handle the heal.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with death is it's a little bit slower, right? It's like mid-tier speed,
Yeah.
right? So you have to be able to have some resiliency in terms of being able to survive that first round.
Yeah.
Then after that, you typically you're okay, right? Once you kind
The,
of
the thing with death, at least in more recent, is you don't have any heals, right? Or I guess you have your self healers, but the
yeah.
corrupted Pegasus is the only kind of tank healer that you have in death. So if you can
And,
survive that first round, that'll
yep.
help.
Yeah, and then there's another one too. So the Tortoisan Chieftain, right? Which
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
a fan of. So and that's the reason why I think that card is great, right? Because you're able to apply healing where you typically wouldn't have a heal. So in
Mm-hmm.
fact, so yeah. So yeah, is there a cure for Kitty? Not right now. There really isn't.
Well, so my question, so it's great that there's some strategies, and then
Yeah,
the truth is that I've been able to beat Kitty in the past, right? They're one offs that I'll be able to, but I'm more curious about what kind of balance we would see in terms of maybe a new ability or what the new dragon summoner would have. Like, I mean, you can't make a dragon summoner like there's nothing that's opposite of
yeah,
True Strike, right? Which I think is probably one of the best abilities.
yeah.
Like you could make the next dragon summoner have like a -2 speed, and then all of a sudden it's really just the opposite of Kitty, but there's nothing that takes away True Strike.
So my hope, right, for the next, like for example, Death Summoner would be to
Mm-hmm.
give everybody Life Leech, right? So
Mm.
that's just that one ability, and that's just
That would be
yeah,
so OP. It'd be so good.
right. So I didn't win to create a new summoner, but that's what I would have asked for.
That's what you would have done.
Absolutely. So we'll see. I think they're going to do some more balance in the future. So In fact, we have more summoners coming out. So I think if you look at so far the new summoner, right, Wraith, or
Mm-hmm.
Wrath, let's go with Wrath. If you look at that one, right, it solves a lot of problems that the white team has, right, or life team
Yeah.
has. So I think they're just going to go and do a lot of those kind of look at weaknesses, look at the balance, and they'll pick something appropriate.
Yeah. I like the amplify built in because then you don't have to put an amplify based
So,
monster too. That I think could be
yeah.
pretty big for it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Amplify, right?
Mhm.
Because there's so many things with thorns and reflect. It just changes the game.
So actually, real quick, because you have some chests that you want to open, and I don't want to delay because then that kind of pushes your clock back, right?
Oh yeah,
On when your next focus starts.
so my ECR is so low that anytime that I can take
Take a break.
yeah,
All right, here, let me remove my screen. Am I good to add yours in?
yeah, absolutely.
Here we go.
All right.
All right. So while you're loading it up, I just want to give a shout out to Keon Lee. What's going on? Good to see you here. Jobby's in the house with Afternight. Diego, how are you? Best counter to Kitty is the Death Summoner and Untamed. Oh, yep. Darkestnyte did mention that. Death Summoner with cripple. Yep. Okay. So a lot of people are similar mindset. All right, let me make this.
I mean, it would be appropriate, right? So here we go. So
Ooh,
12.
12. I'm excited. Oh man, I'm really excited.
So I hope I can have some excitement. So card. Pellicor Conjure. 96.
96. That's equivalent to 2D. See, that's so
240. Not bad. Oh, there we go.
Let's get a decent.
My new favorite card, Bloodmaker. Love it. Ooh, a pack.
Okay. Pack.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
Boom.
All right. Well, at least we got a legendary.
Yes. Okay. So I feel good about it. I feel better now.
I would have wanted to count to Sinesh, but now I'm just being greedy.
Not bad.
You got a pack in a legendary. I can't say that's
not bad.
That's awful.
And guess what you don't see?
Potions. No potions. You're absolutely right. I forgot about that. But you know what? I'm just so in the mindset that there shouldn't even be potions in champion chests.
So now, you know what? I might open that pack later. Maybe we can do a giveaway. So yeah. So good stuff. Yeah, good stuff. So making good progress. 55 season chests, and let's see focuses. That should be interesting. I hope it's dragon. Come on. Oh, it's earth. Let's get rid of that trash.
Earth.
Yeah, gone. Bye-bye.
Let's see what else you got.
Yeah.
Are you still shooting for 80 this season?
Order's good. Yeah. 80 is going to be the standard of success, right?
And what's your ECR at right now?
Let's see.
I know you said it's not
33.95.
Okay, so you need to let that thing rest for a couple of days.
Nope.
In order to get back to 100.
Yeah, and I have no intention of letting it get back to 100, right? So really the key is just getting my rating up, and that'll compensate for it.
Well, we have just under 4 days left in the season, so yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. So this is actually interesting. I didn't realize, but Tuesday, the maintenance window is roughly 48 hours away, and we have 4 days between then. So the last 2 days of this season, we're going to get some of these changes in, and I don't know if you wanted to talk through some of your thoughts on them, because we haven't had a chance to do that. I mean, not publicly here, but I'm sure many people are curious to see what you have to say. I can pull up.
Yes, pull them up and talk through them.
I'll pull it up and we can kind of go line by line here. But obviously the biggest one I would say is the daily focus chests. So
yeah, I think that's going to be fine, right? So again, really the problem was at the beginning of this, that the beginning of the season, you were struggling to really get back to where you were. And really weren't earning your daily checks. You could, right, if you really just blasted through and you won a lot, right? But the problem is it was so competitive that most people's win rates, and you can see even top players, right, they struggle as well. Lots of losses. Everybody's struggling with it. The struggle is still going to be there, right? But at least you can get some rewards while you're going through that.
Now, are you in Champ 2 right now?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So aside from getting your 50 chests, is there a goal to get to champ 2 or even champ 1?
So kind of, right? So, and you and I talked about this, right? So the
Mhm.
challenge is my cards are everywhere, right? I'm delegating cards
Yeah. Well,
everywhere,
next season, hopefully you should be.
right? And that's what I'm going to focus on. Next, as the experiments are done, right? We've done a month and a half of experiments. We
We
kind of
have. It's been fun.
really good understanding of just the meta, things that are possible, things that are not possible, the value of certain cards, right? That was one of the things we set out to, to experiment around. And there are cards you have to have, right? So, and if you
Mhm.
have them, it makes everything a lot easier in terms
Yeah.
of progression. But if you don't have the, certain cards, it's really, really hard. So we now know what those are. But I think from here on out, I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of just, leaderboard participation and things like
Yeah.
that.
I
But
mean, I
the
think
knowledge
you
we get
should.
has been excellent. Yeah.
So, because the reason I was asking about the champ 2 or champ 1 is because
Yeah.
if you end in champ 1, I believe you're starting the next season in champion already.
Uh,
So the thing
no, no, I think you'd be diamond one, if I'm
I
not
I
mistaken.
I think champion gets a little bit of a benefit here. Hold on.
I didn't know that. Well, I've never done it, so I
Here,
don't know.
let's actually take a look at this. So in diamond you start gold 2, gold 3. Okay. So in champion, you started season rating of 3400. No, you're right.
Yeah, yeah,
It is
it's
3400. Did they
yeah,
change that? I thought that used to be. All right.
I think so.
I thought that used to be. All
I
right.
mean,
Well,
which is great, right? It's still fantastic, right?
yeah.
But yeah, but you're still, nobody starts in champion, I believe.
Interesting. Okay. I thought that was I thought that was different before, where if you got to finish in champion 1, then you would only drop down to champion 3. Now, the reason that I'm asking this is because now, instead of earning champion chest at the beginning of the season, you're going to start that first daily focus with diamond chest.
Totally
Does
good.
that bother you, or is it you're totally fine with that?
No, because it's only a couple of days, right? And
Mhm.
at least I get something, right? There
Yeah.
were days that I didn't get anything, right?
Well,
Um,
the thing is, you'll probably get more chests now. It's just not going to be at the higher
yeah.
level or higher quality.
Yeah, I mean, again, chess are great, right? But we're all hoping for that big lottery payout, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, the cards are great, but as they get dumped onto the market, I'll get the cards, right? So I'm not overly concerned about that.
Mhm.
But I do want to, again, do leaderboard. It's great just seeing my name up on the leaderboard so from time to time. That's really my big
It's
motive.
great seeing your name too, because I'm like, I know that guy.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it's again, it's fun, right? The rewards are great, right? I have not complained about the rewards.
Mhm.
The irony of this, I don't know if you remember seeing all the videos. Oh, you can get. Oh, you made some, right? You can get 120, bronze level chests, and I was like, who wants 120 bronze level chests, right? But
It seemed
clearly,
like a good idea at the
at the
time.
time. Exactly, exactly. And I'm like, no, I mean that's great. You can have quantity over quality, but I would prefer to have the quality every time.
Yeah. I think the frustration is just when you open like 5, champion chests and you get 2 potions and 3 common cards, and then you open 50 or 50 bronze chests and you get way, way more value. That I don't know, that just tends to feel better.
Here's the thing, right? If it weren't for Splinter Share, right, we would still think that it was better to open up those 50, 50
Yeah.
or 100 bronze level chests. But we know from a dollar value
From a
perspective,
dollar
not,
standpoint, yeah.
not worth it, right?
It's different. All right, let's take a quick moment here. Harris is in the house. What's going on, Harris? You saw the videos on the rental golem? Yeah, I'm liking the rental golem thing. It's making my life a little bit easier. I know Darkestnyte, you don't rent your cards out, but if you're ever interested in the investment side, they're doing some interesting things
Oh
over
my.
there.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of cards that just sit idle, right? So it might
Mhm.
be good for that. And again, based on the experiment, we know the cards that are really in play. They
Exactly. Yeah.
all that stuff. So
Well, it's because you and I are kind of the same. Where it's just like, well, I'm just going to be holding these cards that I never want to sell, right?
right.
Because of the collectible nature of a card game. Even if I don't use it,
Yeah.
if somebody wants to come in and try renting it for me, that makes it a lot. Takes the onus off of me. What's
Yep.
going on, T-Pag? Willa D just got 48,000 DEC from my alt. Wow, congratulations! In a diamond chest.
Not. Oh, see, there we go. So yeah, I'm no big deal, right? So, I mean, yeah, the champion chest would be nice, but I'd rather get some chest than.
Yeah. I again the fallout from champion to diamond I don't think is that high. I mean it is, but if you can get more diamond chests, I almost wonder like where's the sweet spot at, right? Where is it where you can get both quantity and quality? And part of me is like champion's great, but I wonder, now in the future I'll be testing out maybe diamond and gold to see how that works.
It's
But
gonna be different for everybody, right? So that's the thing.
yeah,
Right? You could say, hey, it's right here, but some people have more competitive decks than others, right? So they're gonna
exactly. Yeah.
jump right back up to champion, no big deal. I might be able to do that, once I have, gotten
Mhm.
everything back. But we'll see. We don't really know.
I mean, the thing is, like, for someone like yourself, I mean, you have, to me, all the pieces necessary to be competing at the highest levels of the game. So it's like, why wouldn't you, right? Because those leaderboard payouts in Champion are worth more than whatever chests you could get, right?
Yeah.
That you might be going for if you decide to stay in Diamond or whatever. Plus, who doesn't want the glory of collecting those champion points and being up there?
Yeah, so that's actually interesting, right? So up until recently, before the change, my champion points stayed the same because I would get to champion and then stop,
Hmm.
right? So I wouldn't gain champion points.
Yeah.
Now, I
Oh, it's
think,
probably been going up, right?
see, yeah. So yeah, so I've added 1,200 more champion points, and that's only up until last season, right? So I'll get
Wow.
more. So I'll probably hit over 5,000. So
Very cool. All right. So Justin's saying the next dragon summoner will be the opponent summoner can't debuff or buff monster. That would be too powerful.
so that would give everybody immunity, right? So yeah, that's way too. That would be super OP.
Actually, it's a summoner that essentially says there's no summoners.
Ooh.
I may not be opposed to that, where it's just like you could essentially cancel out another summoner.
Or can
So you don't get any buffs or debuffs, but your summoner has only one thing. It's just like all summoner buffs or debuffs do not count. So it's like that silent summoners rule.
or how about the introduction of a new summoner type, the neutral summoner?
People have
Ooh.
been asking for it.
And you can only play neutral cards, right? That would be phenomenal.
I mean, neutral summoner sounds cool. You need to have a very solid neutral card deck. I want to see the summoner that says, I am, what's it? It's going to be the equal opportunity or all inclusive summoner that says all colors are welcome. You can use any splinter with it.
Yeah, anything you want. Well, that's kind
Anything.
of dragon, though, right? So yeah, that's
No,
awesome.
but you still need to pick a splinter with dragon. I
Yeah.
want something that says like, oh, I'm going to pair Countess Sinesh with Lyra the Dark, right?
Oh, do you know how OP that would be? That would be crazy.
I know, but that a man can dream. Come on.
Yeah, right, right.
Anyone else doing a new bronze only account? No, I've stopped that. The thing is, so playing in bronze last season and actually exploiting the situation, right? Like running my account up to gold and getting like $1.50 at the end of the season just wasn't worth it. So maybe for potions they can keep it in champion M chest, but they need to apply multiplier like 48. Yeah, but see, I don't like. I don't know. Would you feel happy getting 48 potions versus one potion? I don't think there's like
That so that's real dollar value there, right? So yeah, I think I would be.
48 48 times what force? Oh, I guess it's like $2 right there.
Yeah, so that I
Okay.
would be fine with, but just getting one, that's a problem.
Yeah. All right, fine. Harris, that's a great idea. Multiplier.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Luthien's in the house. What's going on, Luthien?
Congratulations, Luthien, on winning the trivia. Came in second place. So
Very cool.
so so I have to ask. So I know where Luthien comes from. That's Lord of the Rings. The third place winner was Baron, which is another elf from Lord of the Rings. So I'm
I believe
curious.
that's her
Our
partner.
husband, yeah, husband, Luthien and Baron.
Luthian
So
and Barry.
I'm curious if you could add some color to that.
Yeah, please do, Luthian, if you're still here.
Yeah.
I don't like the update. I need to rent for power, then rent for elements, and I know my rent will be more
Ha! Look at
expensive.
that. Look at that. You see the
Yeah.
response?
Huh? Oh,
Her husband.
yeah. No, I said it's her. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is her.
I thought so. So congratulations.
They're
That was awesome.
adorable. They know their stuff. Second and third place.
Absolutely.
All right. Justin saying, I don't like the new updates. I need to rent for power, then rent for elements. And then my rent will be more expensive. Well,
True. That's the yeah. I think that's the whole point, right? Is that you have to diversify your rentals to be
Hmm.
ready. So again, they're pushing towards card ownership, right? Um, and again, for people that rent, that's going to be a problem, right?
Speaking of card ownership, let's go to the second part of this because this reward shares reduction is drastic in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because this is really going to incentivize more card ownership. Right now, like there were several games where I would throw a starter card in because it's like if I have 5 cards, I'm just like I would rather get 80% of the rewards and win for sure than get than get nothing by losing if I don't use a certain card. But now it's going to be reduced significantly.
Yeah. So again, I still think you're tweaking, right? Uh,
Hmm.
that's a pretty big percentage drop. They may have overdone it a little bit because again, you don't want to disincentivize people to stop playing, right, and go look for other options, right?
Hmm.
And when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's a pretty big drop. But I think that I understand where they're trying to go with this, right? They want to again encourage card ownership, but I think card ownership is a gradual process, right? Like nobody's going to go out. Well, some people will, but very few people are just going to go out and say, "Hey, I'm going to have a competitive deck," right?
Hmm.
No, they're going to earn over time, and you want to give them the ability to earn, right? To do
Yeah.
that, to take those earnings and purchase the cards that they need, and to feel that they have progression. Progression is the thing that I think has kept us all here, right? And this just slows down that progression. I'm sure that they have data that we don't have, and they see things that we don't see. But my feeling was that that was a really big drop.
Yeah. Well, again, I think what they're probably seeing is that it hasn't deterred the bots as much as they wanted to.
Yeah.
Bots are still coming in and playing and still earning a significant amount. So,
Yeah. Again, fundamentally, I don't know that I have a real problem with that, right? So, I mean, again, they
mhm.
see things that we don't see, right? So, how much of it is still the bots? Remember, the things that we get are going to be DEC, right? Those are the rewards we get from chess. We get reward cards, right? So, and those cards have their place in the meta, but they're not like all powerful, right?
Yeah.
You still have to have the other cards to go with them.
Hmm.
And then of course potions and such like that, which are for opening up packs and things like that. So all I think it slows down the economy just a little bit. Again, maybe
Yeah.
that's what they're going for, and I'm okay with that if that's part of the plan. But this just seems like it has a slowing effect on kind of getting through, pack openings and reward, distribution and stuff like that. So we'll see.
Yep. Yep. For sure. Icy Flow. I moved up in champion because of the change. Cool.
Nice.
Cool. How's that going? So Johnny saying earlier or yesterday, Tales from the Cryptmancer mentions or promotes a bot called Archmage. What are your thoughts about it? And is it related to your guild? It is not related to our guild, right? No, it is not related to our guild. But what's going on? I feel like Tales from the Cryptmancer was like carrying the banner against bots, and now he's promoting bots. What a traitor!
I don't know that. So I don't think
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
against it, right? I think the issue that he said, if I remember correctly from all, and I have all these videos in my head, right? Like thousands of them. So
Hmm.
I think his problem was that they don't invest enough into the community and
Yeah.
extract so much value. And again, Gank, same thing, right? That's really
Hmm.
what their issue is that they are not adding to the community. But again, there are different ways to participate and add to the communities. That's why I'm so neutral on it, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, but things can be made better, right? Made more fair, right? Through me playing versus a bot playing 10 times or 1,000 times more games. I get the concern. So we'll have to check out Archmage, right? Maybe that'll be
Yeah.
my
Gotta
first
see it.
foray.
That'll be
Thing-
interesting. I mean, I'm just curious.
My
it's,
thing is,
it's just funny because every time I would see a Tales from the Cryptmancer video about bots, I was just like, all right, at least we got somebody who's willing to get into the mud and figure out what's going on here because that's not me. But now it's like, oh my gosh, who's Archmage? They bought him off.
yeah.
I'm just kidding. I have not seen the video yet, but I will check it out. Really enjoy Tales from the Cryptmancer's perspective on things, so I
I
will for
heard
sure
you
see.
doing an imitation of him the other day.
I
Welcome.
love his intro.
Dude,
It's
it's
so
awesome.
good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Hello, boys and ghouls.
Tools. Yeah.
It's just so on brand for him.
Yeah, it is. Tell it.
All right, so let's see. Which CL cards do you rarely use? Oh,
Ooh, that's a great question. But see, here's the thing, right? So rarely use is an interesting term, right? Because everything is situational, right? So there's cards that I've thought that are trash, right? And I'll even tell you one of them. So I'll give you one.
I know one right off the bat is this dude, Sunkai Harvester. I don't think I've ever used them in a fight.
So right. So, but again, look at him. He gets a press at a higher level, right? So you know what that's good against? It's good against all the green guy, a failed summoner. It's good against Pellicor Conjurer, right? It's good against Chaos Agent.
That's true.
If you get, so it's
if
fantastic.
you can hit him, but yeah,
if you can hit him, right? But the speed, I think, for that is 4, isn't it?
yeah, he gets to 4 at the highest level.
Right.
But it's funny because like as soon as that question was asked, I thought of Sunkai Harvester because I'm like, this is a card here that I've never used.
Yes. See, again, it's situational, right? If you know somebody's going to use, like, a press is really good, right? You want to have a press, but it's not a thing that's often on cards. But it's one of the main reasons I use. Hold on, what's that card? It's a reward card. It is. Give me 1 second. Oh, Phineas Rage. Right.
Okay,
when I play Jotun, it is 90% of the time I put it in my Jotun team because of the oppress.
Dang it. Luthien uses Sunkai Harvester. She uses it often. This is why I always lose to her because my strategy is just not on point. Yeah. I don't see the value in certain cards. All right, well, good to know.
I used to think that Radiated Brute was trash until until it gets enraged and it just
then it just plows through. Right. So what about Kulu Swim Hunter? I don't use this card ever either.
I don't use that one either.
Okay, all right. At least there's one we can agree on. I want to go through maybe 1 or 2 more splitters here.
Well, so here we go. We've talked about this before, right? So the water cards have the most abilities, and so when you have and they're tuned for that, right? So if you have back to basics, I believe they usually win. So because of that,
I have to say we were chatting on here recently, and several of the commenters mentioned using the recharge ability for poison rule sets.
Oh, I love it.
I've been doing that recently, and it's fantastic. And now all of a sudden, I'm rethinking how much I care or not care about recharge.
Yeah, recharge is really good for people, the opponents that have self heal, things with a lot of hit points that are like against Kitty, right? Recharge against Kitty works really good.
Oh yeah.
Because it healed up.
Oh man,
yeah.
I was able to beat a llama flesh golem. It was like 13 mana or whatever it was, and I was just like, oh wait, who's that dragon that has? I was like, he finally comes in handy. Zyvax Bull.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, it's just so situational is the problem. So
well, you have to be able to anticipate it, right? But here's the thing: when you there's one Zyvax, I think it's Zyvax, who has a press, it has recharge, and the death blow. I think. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so this is the one that allowed me to kill him in essentially two turns, I should say.
And with Kitty, with that, you're gonna hit, right? You're gonna hit for 18 points of damage.
Can you imagine missing with 18 points of damage? That'd be so frustrating.
Yeah, and it's pretty. I mean, it's fast enough, right? So 3, but it'll be 5. So yeah, it'll.
I think that's exactly what happened in one of my games. I think I used it with Kitty against. I knew that a llama something was coming.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of recharge.
I'm getting there. I'm not fully sold on it yet, but Ifrit Rising has come in handy, and then the Insidious Warlock is another one that I've used with my death team. Now, because of the fact that I like pairing him with someone like a Heartclaw specifically for poison rule sets.
Oh yeah.
So,
yes.
Legendary summoner that allows all splinters to be played. Yep. I'm all for that. I'm grinding at my diamond. Cool, cool, cool. Baron is my husband. A fun rule set or summoner will be odds from one splitter and evens from another.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Okay. There's so many cool ideas here. I wish we could just introduce all of them. All right, Gather the Magic. Have a good one. We love the story of Baron and Luthien. They aren't our real names. You know, I don't even care. When I see you guys, I'm going to call you Luthien. I'm just going to stick to bronze chest after the update. Okay, so here's an interesting thing because I just posted a video on it this morning. So here's an exploit already. And again, sorry, I don't mean to call it an exploit. I'm curious if people will, and if the team will deem it an exploit. But let's say I'm playing next season in so for example, next season I'll be getting champion level chests, but I'll probably be playing in gold. But let's say, actually, my season chest doesn't even matter. But let's say on my daily focus, I have a gold level deck, I have gold level power, and I don't want to go for gold chest though. I want to go for bronze chests. So what I do is I delegate my cards all to my alt account so that I have 1,000 power for bronze.
Sure.
And then when my focus starts, I come back in, I bring my gold cards back and my gold deck back. And all of a sudden, I'm playing once again in gold to get bronze level chests or silver level chests, whatever, like lower league. Now, I know we're gonna go back to the argument of like quantity over quality.
Why would you want those bronze level chests, right?
Well, I don't know yet. I haven't ruled it out. Now, here's the thing, because I haven't played in gold enough. But my question is, where can I see this being used? For example, let's say I know that I'm not going to have enough time, right, to play like in grind on a day. So I see my focus coming up. I'm going to delegate my cards to another account. I'm going to put them on rent for like 50,000 DEC each. So nobody's going to rent them. And then as soon as the focus comes in, it's bronze. I play 2 games. I get 20 chests, and then I get to kind of call it a day. Now, maybe that's not an exploit, right? But it's definitely finding a way to get a little bit more out of the system. You know what I mean?
Right. So I guess, right. But again, we already talked about the value of those chests or trash. So I would say, again, I'm less concerned about kind of how other people play. And I have been from the very beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
I play the way that I want to play. I don't want to tell anybody else how they're supposed to play. And if somebody wants to go and do that, right, it's a pain in the butt and your rewards aren't that good. So, you know, and again, the reason why you said is I don't have a whole lot of time. That part I can understand, right? Because if I didn't have, you know, enough time to play, I would probably do the same thing. So I would say aggro is pretty clear on trying not to dictate to people on how they play the game.
How they play.
Okay, that's fair. They want, and I definitely agree with that.
It's not. It's just it feels like a glitch to me, right? Because again, I have to believe that they thought it through, but it's just like, okay, if people wanted to earn lower, then it's fine. I still like this update because it fixes the more important thing, which is on the other side, which is if you go into a league too high and you're struggling and you drop down, or for whatever the case is, you can at least still have a decent experience, right? Like my fear going into actually both seasons that we've played and then going into the next season was like, okay, well, I'm going to have a season or 2 of cooldown to get back to my level, right? Because otherwise I'm just going to be struggling. And maybe that's the time when I turn to an alt account. But now it's like, oh, actually, maybe I still go for champion level chess. And at some point in the season, go for champion so that I can still earn champ level chests for end of season, but my daily still is fun because I'm playing down in gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and actually it helps someone like me who always burns through ECR, right? The impact of low ECR is lessened, right? So, so I'm still getting chests. I'm still making progression. I can play pretty much as I want. So I think for me, it'll be pretty good.
All right, so here's the saying for the new app, just to clarify, you get focus points and reward shares regardless of the splinter. No, just to clarify, this is not going live yet, Harris. So these are all future changes that they were talking about, but the only things going live are the new daily focus change and the starter cards. Everything else is kind of like TBD on or TBA when it'll actually come through. But you are right in terms of you will still get something for your daily focus no matter what splinter you play. But it sounds more so whenever you play the splinter of choice, you kind of get a bonus the same way that you get the alpha beta card bonus.
Which seems super counterintuitive, right? So they call it a focus, but you get points for not focusing.
Well, I think I think this is to help stop the splinter spam.
Oh, I guess.
So ultimately, I don't know. I feel like that could be a net positive.
Oh, no,
It,
no, I'm just being funny, right?
oh,
So
okay.
I agree with the whole thing, right? So
Okay.
add those different different types of focuses. Absolutely. The what's happening now, and you've seen it, I've seen it, is even if you try not to splinters, spam, right?
Hmm.
Just mentally you still are much more prone to play that, and everyone can
Hmm.
see it, right? And they see exactly what types of cards you have. It's super easy to see what's coming, based on rule set. I'm surprised that some of the predictive tools out there haven't really just done that as an analysis. Hey, your opponent for the last 5 games has played this. These are the cards that we recommend that you counter with, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there might be some bot services out there or
Yeah,
some data services out there.
absolutely.
From my knowledge, Archmage is the best paid bot out there. This is interesting. Archmage. It's funny that people are associating it with our guild. They might have to get them to rebrand. I just heard about Archmage bot, and it can run Champion 2 and available to service. You need to hold a certain token. Oh, this sounds like a premium service here. I love Sunko. Sunko Harvest wrecked me in seal only tournaments
Oh
so many
yeah.
times. If I went to, oh, Luthian used a Kulu Swim Hunter. All right, see again, this is why I can never beat her. I'm not using the right cards.
And those are cards that can't be predicted, right? Because if they're not used a lot,
Yeah,
I mean,
don't get me wrong. I've used it in games where I can only play water and no magic, for example, right?
yeah,
And I'm just like, okay, I need somebody that can attack. But
yeah.
good morning, After Dark. All right, this is our third nickname today. I think we've got Darkest Sound, After Night, and After Dark.
Yeah.
What's going on, Ahmed? Good to see you here. I'm planning on buying a legendary gold foil rewards cards because it's only $30 US.
Oh yeah,
And
I'm a
rewards.
big fan of that.
Yeah, EV of champ chests are worthless if you have bad luck. I mean, EV of any chests are worthless if you have bad luck, but I agree, it hurts more in champion.
Oh yeah.
That kind
So
of
what
versus
do I
that.
say? The RNG is a cruel mistress.
Yeah, that was literally your message to me. What did you get? Oh, was that?
Trash. That was in general. That was referring to your drops, right? So that,
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I mean, the RNG in games sometimes makes me wonder if Yabamat's on the other side being like, I don't like what Aftersound had to say.
yes.
Miss, dodge,
Yeah.
phase.
Yes. It does feel personal sometimes.
It feels so personal. All right, if he's not consistent in champ anymore, I don't disagree with that. Same thoughts as me. Hey, what's up, Virus? If I'll only make it to champ for the last couple of days, it wasn't worth it before to try. If I can still earn Diamond Daily, it's not bad of a hit. I agree. I mean, I'm excited about the change. Again, you know what I'm most excited about? I am most excited about not about the change, but the fact that they implemented the change way more quickly
Yeah.
than expected.
Which is what they said.
Because, yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that this change implementation is probably what pushed back Modern and Wild. And yes, I'm crying tears inside because of that. But still, I'm just happy to see that they have the infrastructure now to make these changes quickly.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm a little disappointed for Modern and Wild 2. Not as much, right? But
Mhm.
I want them to get it right. And because of just the nature of what it is you're trying to do, literally split out 2 leagues, that's not going to be easy, right? And you definitely want to balance that.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
because you don't want to introduce new exploits.
Yeah, no, for sure. Oh, celebrity
Oh,
sighting in the house. Good morning, crypto boys and ghouls. I love your intro,
yeah,
Tales from the Crypto. Like it's literally burned into my head.
that means you watch a lot of his videos.
I do. I love his content, man. If you guys aren't supporting or checking out Tales from the Cryptmancers video, and really Tales from the Cryptomancers video, the real Cryptomancer, just saying, had to do the name change, which I don't agree with. You should have battled Cryptomancer for it. Made him change his name.
Yes.
I believe that if you're renting power, you should just stay in bronze. Here's the thing. I think that there are enough people who are renting and getting a good ROI. I'm sorry, Darkest Night, I just cut you off, but
No. I interjected in there. It's everybody's different. Everybody's story and journey is different, right? So for me, I'll rent, cards, especially if I get green or earth,
Mhm.
So, and I lose that role. I've never gotten it back to back again since that first time. But if I get stuck with Earth, I'm gonna rent it, and it's expensive.
Now, I'm just out of curiosity. What cards are you renting for Earth? Is it
Llama,
Llama?
yeah, Llama and Mylar Crowing. So I could spend about
Interesting.
5,000 DC and all the supporting cards. Now I wouldn't normally have to do that, right? But I'm delegating, right? So once I get that team back, then I wouldn't have to do that, right? I could play effectively with Obsidian. So
Now, I'm curious because you have never rented Prince Renan, it sounds like. Or Renan isn't part of your
I have.
you have.
Yeah,
Okay.
once it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Like, so for example, if you look at Archmage Arius, right?
Yeah.
That is a +3, +1 across each of the melee, range, and magic, right? It's super effective. Renin, for me, just because it's ranged, right?
Mhm.
Range is limited, right? It's not the optimal in terms of fighting, especially when, and I hate to see this, right? A ranged monster will get to the first position, and I'm like, okay, battle over, right? So it's just not optimal.
I get wrecked by Renan though. I don't know, like, but again, I'm my deck isn't as powerful, but it's just like whenever I see it, but like I don't know what to do. Quicks can only do so much because some of those monsters have like high speed and what's it? Pierce.
Right. So the thing that I find for Renin is you have to have a deck that is optimized for it, right? So I'm again, because I don't like Earth, I am not going to invest in optimization for a card that I don't even have, right? So then it makes the rental like really expensive.
Yeah.
Actually, to Justin's point, right?
Yeah. Now, hold on. I just want to dig into this for another minute.
Yeah.
How is Mylar at the highest levels?
It's good. So
it's still as powerful.
Oh yeah. So I get taken apart. Like if a person plays Mylar in Champion, because I don't have them, right? So for example, the melee only rule set, I lose 99%.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. And again, could I buy that card? Probably. But I'm not. I just got Kitty. I'm gonna stop for now.
I mean, Dragon. The thing is, Dragon is your favorite, right? Dragon and Death. So
yep.
You don't have to. I haven't done given this any thought, but I kind of want to do some speculation on the upcoming Riftwatcher summoners because I'm curious to know how they could use this opportunity to help balance the game, right? So, well, actually, not even just summoners, but monsters as well.
So I hope there are 3 again. So 3 mana again. I really hope they do that, and I hope one of them has Reflection.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, gives everybody Reflect Shield. Have a nice day.
I feel like we're going to see Reflect Shield on one of the Chaos Legion legendary summoners, though.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
No, because well, again, I could be wrong, right?
You know what? You're probably right.
Yeah,
you're probably right.
On monsters, right? And I think they want to determine the balance to the game overall. And those cards are good, right? They are very effective at what they were supposed to do.
Yeah. So in one of my videos a while back, they talked about like a while back, they talked about introducing a new ability in Rift Watchers. And then they kind of shifted and said, hey, some of these new rewards cards are going to have a new ability. And part of me was just like, oh, maybe they're pushing off Rift Watchers and they're pulling this ability up so they can get into the game, which could be Reflect Shield, right? Maybe they're planning it for one of the summoners there.
It would make the most sense. It would make the most sense.
Yeah, absolutely. State of Survival. Is that your voice? Yes, it is. That is my voice.
Great song.
Thank you. Thank you. Harris is going on. We are disappointed on the delays of Modern Wild, but we ain't quitting. No, we're not quitting. Yeah. I'm just gonna keep throwing public tantrums on my channel until we get it. I would want to put a face with that voice. Tales from. Can you join one of them? Yeah. So are we doing a face reveal at any point? Tales from the Crypt Answer. I got 2 legendary cards from the. I mean, it's funny. It's just like. If you come and do a face reveal on this channel, that just would be so weird that you wouldn't do it on your own channel. But you're welcome anytime, Cryptmancer. Come through.
You know, there's somebody that I would love to have on at one point. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Gold Matters, the little videos.
Oh man,
Because I want to know how he makes those cards. I have it in my head. I have an
Mhm.
idea. Like he probably has like a laser etcher, and he has the gold cards or gold, electroplate cards, and he just does that. But those are super cool, like super cool. I would buy those.
Yeah, well, he and I keep fanboying one another on Twitter.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm gonna formally invite him on at some
Yeah,
point.
I mean, I just and he
You're
just
the
got
one that put
back.
me onto his content, which is great. Cause like short form TikTok style content, like we don't have enough of that. We have a bunch of YouTubers,
Yeah,
but people who can do like the short form content and actually make it fun and engaging. He's doing a great job with it.
dude, I laugh whenever I see those videos.
Mhm.
So
Sure. So Kenley, I got 2 legendary cards from bronze this season. That's awesome. It's more than I've gotten from champion. Appreciate after night.
Renee,
Third class. Yeah. Okay, so hold on. Let me just take a moment here. Like this channel's like open. Like if people want to come on, there's no like official, like I know Luke does a great job of like inviting guests on, but that's because he's organized and like he's really good at what he does. For me, I'm just like, I'm gonna be online, and then like Darkestnyte will hit me up or Godzilla will hit me up and be like, yeah, dude, come through. I'm just gonna be having some coffee. So for people who want to come through, you're always welcome. Honestly, literally, this channel is just here so that we can nerd out about this game more. That's all
absolutely.
it is.
And the funny part is we'll talk for hours. And
Oh yeah.
by the way, my mother's listening, so
Oh, hi mom.
yes, I'm sure that she's like, "What are they talking about?" But it is what it
We're
is.
talking about the future
We
of
are.
gaming. Mitchell's in the house. What's going on, Mitchell? Good to see you here. Do you think introducing a new attack type will be good? Ooh, I don't know. I
What
think
kind
this
of
is.
what would that be though?
I don't know. It'd be that would be so meta changing. I feel like they'd have to say that for land or something.
Wait, so wouldn't it be interesting to have a summoner that adds a random rule set to the game? You attack with random rule sets, like poison or earthquake. It just adds it in.
Hmm.
Can't be predicted. You can't plan for it. It just changes the nature of the battlefield.
So wait, so you plan for something based on the rule set, and then the summoner comes in and changes the rule set.
Or adds another one or changes it, right? Randomization or what, it could be whatever. It would
You
so
know,
and in fact chaos. You could just call it chaos.
I was just gonna say maybe this is the dragon summoner because this has to be the set for it, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna add something randomized, the way that recharge was and scatter
Yeah.
shot,
Yeah.
it has to be within Chaos Legion because that's kind of
Or,
bringing.
yeah.
So I feel like if the Chaos Legion dragon legendary summoner has that, that'd be kind of crazy.
Well, I'm waiting for Silas to make his appearance, so that would be good.
Maybe that'll be a Rift Watchers thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking,
He's like the big bad according to
yeah,
the team.
yeah, chaos. That would be a great ability.
Ability chaos.
Yeah.
I feel like rule set. I feel like rule set would be so crazy. It's almost like
That's the
if
point.
if he had. It's almost like if he had a preset of like 5 different potential buffs or debuffs, and every game you go in.
It changes.
Okay, how would it be too OP? Where if every game you go in, you as the player playing the card know what the buffs and debuffs are, and your opponent doesn't, because then they can never really plan for you.
That would be too OP.
That'd be too OP.
No, but again, it all depends on the implementation, right? So,
Yeah.
so yes, Justin, we think that would be awesome.
I don't know what the new attack type looks like, Justin, but it would be cool. Darkestnyte, I know that you played Splinterlands before Dice. Why didn't you buy Dice card when it was cheap? Oh, this should be a good
Really? So you're gonna
question and
kick right
answer.
down? Yeah. So I have no good answer for you. Well, okay, I'm going to say this, right? So one of the things I've learned over the last year and a half about Splinterlands is you must plan for the future, right? So when I first started playing, I viewed myself only as a silver player. And then when I got myself to gold, I only viewed myself as a gold player. I never buffed up my cards to the diamond level or to champion level. And for almost a year, I just played with these low level cards. And I think had I understood the progression better, I would have said, okay, I'm silver now, but eventually I'm going to play at a higher level. Let me make the investments now when everything's cheap. And I just never did that, right? Now that I understand that, I don't wait to level up my cards. And you've seen me do that, right? I'll just say, I'm buying this at max level. So if I were playing as a new player now, I would make the decision of whether or not I'm in this game for the long haul or if I'm only in it to make a quick splash and get out. And I think that is super relevant in terms of the types of players that we have.
Mm.
So I'm sorry.
No, go. Sorry, I was just
Hopefully
agreeing with you.
I answered your question, right? So that's the main reason why, right? Is I didn't really understand what the future of the game was going to look like.
All right, I'm going to try and answer, even though Darkestnyte just gave you his actual answer, I'm going to try and answer for him based on the conversations I've had with him. And also, this is hopium, so don't tell anybody, okay, guys? Remember, there's no hopium allowed on this channel. But I believe that what Darkestnyte went through, we'll probably go through again, where people like myself now have not maxed out a deck, even though I have all intentions to. And at some point in time, as Darkestnyte, you've relayed to me, there will be a moment in which things pick up, and they pick up dramatically.
Yeah,
and then you will jump in, and within a matter of days or maybe a day, things will be gone and the prices will have jumped up. And Darkestnyte, I'm saying this because you were talking about back then, like Yodas were going for $30, llamas were going for $20, and it wasn't something that you were paying attention to. But then all of a sudden, overnight, they did a 20x.
Right. They got me with the artwork of Kitty. I said, "Cat, look at that card. It looks ridiculous, right?" And that is the most dominant.
It looks too cuddly.
It even says it in the lore, which I didn't even read the lore, and I'm a lore addict, right? So I didn't even look at the lore for Kitty, but it told you everything you needed to know right there. And had I been paying attention, I would have said, "I'm getting that card." Yeah, super.
It's cuddly but tough. Be not distracted by cuteness. And who wrote the did Byzantinus write this? Write the lore.
But the warning was there in my face, right? And I literally fell for the cuteness and the fluff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was not a mistake that I'll make again. So.
I mean, I think it's just everything is slow until it picks up, right? And you just don't know. So like again, this is the risk that I'm running for myself right now. Look at me like running around trying to grab Pelacor bandits and do all these other things when I know that I want to be playing at the highest level, so I should be trying to maximize my deck. Because again, I'm not saying it's going to happen anytime soon. That's why I want to be very careful about this. But there could be at some point in the future a moment in time or a period of a couple of days where we saw what happened last summer, right in July, where everything that was available for the longest time, Untamed took 18 months to sell out, and then all of a sudden, I think it was YGG that came in and bought like several 100,000 packs, or not 100,000, but several thousand packs or something.
Yeah.
So that could happen again, and then we'll all have a story similar to people will be asking you, Justin, why didn't you max out your deck back in the day?
So actually, Tales from the Cryptmancer did a video. It was maybe about 2 months ago, and it was about the bottleneck that's represented by summoners. And I would say we're always going to get new cards, right? But those summoners are such a bottleneck. And if you look at the prices right now, if you plan on playing in Champion at some point in the future, you've got to max out your summoners. Got to. You have to. Yeah. Right? And if you don't, you'll miss this opportunity. And when Kelia goes to $10, when they're not printing it anymore, you'll look back on the $2 price. What is it now?
It's like $3-4, but yeah.
Yeah. So again, a little bit at a time, right? A little bit of time. Take some of those winnings that we get from opening the chest and buy one Kelia per season, right? Get closer. And again, don't use your fiat, right? Just take the winnings that you've gotten, and they're substantial now, right? Take it and just say, hey, this is how I'm going to focus on, being more competitive in the game.
Agreed. Here's when I retire, there will be a formal reveal. How old are you, Tales from the Crypt? No, I'm just kidding. So then we can party at Splinterfest. Ooh, Tales from the Crypt Mancer is going to be at Splinterfest. Wait, are you going to be wearing a mask then, or you'll show your face? 2-cent rare cards. Let's go. I would love to win Mylar in a giveaway. I would love to win a lot of cards in a giveaway.
Yeah,
I still have just my level 1. That's all.
yeah. Let's see. Do I have one?
I don't think I but summoner that removes the rule sets. That would be fun.
Or that would be good too. So yeah, some sort of battlefield evolution would be really.
Yeah.
I don't have a level 1.
Why do you want to buy dice cards when they were cheap? There's a set called Chaos. Yep. Chaos Legion's where it's at. What do you think of summoner that reverses the positioning of your opponent's team? I.e., last card is the tank, second last card is first position. I think that this is too OP, but when I read this, the thing that came to my mind was, what if there's a summoner that gave all of your monsters sneak, for example? Because we haven't seen anything like that. That could be.
See, it's a rule set that already exists, right? So we're again talking about a rule set change, right? That already kind of exists already, right? The card or the summoner is not the place to really do that. But I mean, I think it would be great though.
But the thing is, like, if you were to see a summoner that does that, like, there's going to be so much bleed over between, rule sets and summoner abilities, don't you think?
Yeah. So yeah, and I think as a game designer, and again, I know there are some game designers in the chat right here, but I think that they would want to kind of keep those things separate, maybe, and that's why I said maybe it adds a random one of the ones that already exist, right? That would be pretty chaotic at any level of play, right? But to start tinkering with basic fundamentals of the game, I think that has a chance to have a runaway effect. That's just my opinion, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the back end of a lot of these, the rule sets and battle, logic and things like that. But it would make it difficult to prepare bots for, though. That would definitely. Oh, they would have.
Bots would have no idea. I mean, at that point, you just got to put your best team forward and just hope that they can do something.
Yes. Which is not what I think they want, right? I think they want you to be able to look at your. That's why they put the last few battles in, so you can see what your opponent is typically doing. And
if they remove that would be too. I wouldn't like that. Because I remember people were calling for it a while back. Just like remove it so that no win trading or all that.
Yeah.
But it adds to So what I enjoy about that is that it adds to actually what Genki talked about is like a former poker player. There's this kind of like anticipation, right? So it feels like you have to anticipate what your opponent is going to do and then play accordingly.
Right. Otherwise, it's just a random play your
best deck. Yeah.
Go right.
So, Justin, I hope the Dragon Summoner will be so chaotic the design will be a chicken in a tornado spaghetti that is riding a donkey in a what did I just read here? Justin, I hope you're right, just because I would love to see a picture of that. I'll talk to Nate. Yeah. Just kidding.
I want a shark with lasers.
Great reference. Hopefully this isn't duplicate. Have you guys maxed out any of the new rewards yet? I believe Darkestnyte has done a couple.
Those cards are ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember Kinjo.
So Kinjo, great, fantastic card. But you like the Dragon Infiltrator. That is it.
Yeah, Dampier Infiltrator. How about your favorite card? How are you liking that one? The stun.
Not as good as I'd hoped. So
too slow?
Well, no, because I have so much stun that I can't tell who's actually stunned. and it just the stun for him just doesn't. Everything's already stunned up, right? So
does it work though?
Yeah, it works okay. So
okay.
So okay. So there are certain rule sets where I play. Oh God, I forget some of the names.
So for people who aren't familiar, you were excited about stun with Waka, right? So
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes I have to play. Damn it! I can't believe I forgot his name. The deaf new tank.
Cursed Windeku?
No, Heartclaw. So we go.
Okay.
So the problem with using Heartclaws, I have Lord of Darkness, but the reason why I like Lord of Darkness is because it has a stun. Right. Yep. So for now 12 mana, right, I can have Heartclaw, and then I can introduce stun. They both have immunity, so it's great during the poison rule set. Yeah. And against Jotun, right? It has the fire protection, so the rest of my team is not getting wiped out.
That is a nice thing to have on the second spot.
Yep. Yep. So, but then the other piece of it is then I don't get to have corrupted Pegasus. So then I have to switch to Tortoise and Chieftain.
Gotcha.
So lots of changes, right? Like I have to really reconfigure the team, but it's workable, right?
Yeah. I really like the one you mentioned, the Dampier Infiltrator, because now sometimes I'll play the Kelia team without Kelia, right? So for example, I was playing when I had Kitty, but I would play with all of the powerhouse water cards.
Yeah.
And then it's nice to pair, along with the melee team, Dampier Infiltrator, who was usually getting the slot over my boy Pellicor Bandit.
Oh yeah,
just because of that double strike.
It's a brutal card, right? So, and especially if you can anticipate somebody doing like Lamacron.
Yes.
You don't really see that whole Lamacron, you don't really see a whole lot of at the higher levels. Who you see is Llama Hydra at the higher levels.
Okay.
And it, typically it'll be in the back. You'll see it in like Super Sneak or whatever. But if you can anticipate a self-heal monster in the back, it's just devastating.
I mean, even for the most common one that I see is that neutral ranged card, Cornelius.
Oh, yes.
So being able to stick the affliction on him early is just very clutch.
Yeah, affliction and you're crippling, right? So, even if there's a triage, right, it's less effective over time. So, well, actually, if you stick the affliction, you can't even do the triage, so you're good.
Yeah. Difference is Jotun Kitty 20x, 40x bull market, but now it's bear market. So yeah. So actually what's interesting is I don't think we're ever going to see that kind of craziness that we saw last year again, because for it to line up with the bull market in the same way that cards were restricted. So it's not that I think these cards are going to do a 20x, but here's the deal. Like the example that Darkestnyte gave, let's say Kelias do go out of print, or, packs do sell out. I could see Kelia jumping from $3 or $4 to $10. And then all of a sudden now it's like significantly more expensive to max it out. Yes. Right now it's not maybe out of your price range, but you got to spend double, triple the money that you would have in order to max or get a max copy.
Yeah. So it's about how competitive you want to be, right? My thing is always about being competitive, right? So it's not about the investment. I'm never going to sell 99% of these cards, right? It's all about being ready for the next iteration to be competitive while we're earning these chests, right? While we're going for leaderboard. What's the point of playing if you can't, win at least a good percentage of the time, right? So, or whatever level you're at, right? So, if you're going to be in silver, be really competitive in the silver level, right? Gold, diamond, champion, whatever level you're at. But again, if you perceive that you're going to be playing in champion a year from now, why would you wait to get your summoners? You shouldn't.
Well, if you think that the price could potentially go down further,
True.
but then again, you're rolling the dice on that, right? So you have to be willing to live with your decision. So I'm rolling the dice right now and publicly saying that I think that prices will go down after the end of the airdrop and more packs are opened. And again, not as financial advice, but just as like, okay, well, this is what I think the market's going to do. So I'm going to wait. But if it ends up blowing up in my face and all of a sudden like prices skyrocket afterwards, well, then I got to own it and I'll just be a gold level player forever.
Right. But then again, this is not financial advice, right? But I would say that you made a well thought out argument for the decision that you've made. And everyone needs to do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Figure out their risk tolerance and then determine, the best strategy to mitigate that risk.
For sure.
I can't take any chances.
Well, I like your strategy where you're just like, should I go for it? Is anyone going to stop me? Nope. All right, let's do it.
Exactly. Exactly.
With Modern being a moving target with only 2 most recent releases, it's going to be super expensive to play. Yeah, but yes, it will be. You're absolutely right. There's no but about that. What I hope, though, is that a lot of the competition and maybe a lot of the future like tournament sponsorship money that comes in or event competition could go towards Modern League to help kind of finance that or give the incentive to play in the Modern.
So I was thinking about this, right? So how do you make the game more affordable for new players when the switch happens, right?
Hmm.
I would say to do a promotion that allows you to bulk buy your starter cards because they've pretty much given them to you for free use anyway. But let's bulk purchase them, right? So you would, basically, you know, go to the store, say purchase starter set, and for $100 or $50 or $20, whatever it's going to be, and now
Hmm.
you actually own those cards, right? Or maybe even make it as an add-on. Hey, you've been playing for 6 months. We're gonna grant you your starter set, whatever. But I
That's
think,
interesting. Okay.
yeah. So because you want to make the game affordable for basic play, right? And do want to reward people. Everyone else is getting rewarded. So you make a small investment, again, maybe $20, $30, and now you own those cards. And the starter decks now have no negative impact on your rewards generation. So,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's so many interesting ideas on how to make it
oh yeah.
more affordable.
But you want more people to come in, right? And
Yeah,
and that's the
yeah.
thing, right? So,
The thing is, again, it sucks right now, but for people who bought in like 6 months or almost a year ago, maybe, but
yeah,
it really is the best time to be entering into the game right now.
I agree.
So, sure. Well, actually, no. On any level, like even if you're just buying SPS, right? Like buy SPS now. It's 5 cents versus 80 cents a dollar. So was Kelly ever under $3?
Yeah,
Maybe early on. I feel like I remember seeing Kelly lower until people realized how good she was.
I'm on
From your what's that?
I'm on Summoner Labs, so let me see.
Oh, okay. All right. So Darkestnyte's gonna look that up. Ahmed's asking, from your knowledge, how much power you will have if you had maxed out all elements without alpha beta? I don't know actually what your total power would be. I wonder if there's a way to calculate that. Let's see. Splinter Cards has it. So if you go to
Yes, so we have been as low as, here we go, $2.30 for Kelia.
$2.30. Okay.
Mhm.
So actually, Evan, are you seeing? Can you see my screen? Oh yeah. So check this out. If you have a maxed out Chaos Legion deck, that's actually not enough to get into Champion. That only gives you 332,000 collection power. But that'll be for wild format. Once modern format comes out, this should be more than enough to get you into Champion. If Champion is actually ends up being half. But that's a good point. No mask. All right, we're gonna see Tales from the Cryptmancer unmasked, and Harris wants me to take a picture of him with other YouTubers, but really just a picture of Tales, right? I don't mind winning every single Splendens card, max gold foil in a giveaway. There's a lot of things I wouldn't mind. You can add that to the list. I remember Kelly almost reached 2.5. Yep. What was that? I feel fire must be due a magic summoner.
I would love to see that because I like fire magic for red, but I'll tell you, Yodin is great with magic, right? You're not going to get that little bump, but it's always going to hit, right? For the most part.
I'm trying to think of who would benefit. There'd actually be quite a few monsters that would benefit tremendously from.
Oh yeah, yeah. You give it +1 magic and blast again. Oh,
All right. That's Yodin 2.0.
yeah, they will never do that again.
They'll never do that. That'd be funny. Get down, except Kelly. So poison rule set exists in Waka as a thing. Oh, okay. Yeah. Again, I mean, I think that there's a bunch of different ways that they could go about it. They could introduce new abilities, or they could put in old ones. If there's a summoner that gives all monsters sneak, it will be so easy to counter because they will know what you will play.
True.
Yeah. Well, you can't spam. Yeah. What? I think Fire Element will get summoner boosting range attack, but there's already Yodin. So
yeah,
+1 range. Scattershot, Pierce, +1/2 range might be cool. Okay.
I love Scattershot. It's one of my favorite abilities now.
Yeah. So here's the thing for Ron. If Cornelius has thorns, it's bad for Dampier Infiltrate. I,
True.
I yes, but then you get 2 shots to stick Affliction, which means that there's almost on average 100% chance that you'll stick it. And I think that's an important sacrifice that Dampier Infiltrator can make for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's worth it. It's worth the chance because
mhm.
otherwise you're gonna lose the game. So
Yeah, that affliction is what makes that card so powerful, in my opinion. Just watch your rewards update. Would you prefer the daily reward chest is determined by the highest league to play chief this season? No, I don't. Here's
yeah,
the thing, Brian. I don't think that there's a clean cut answer, right? Like, I think they tried the previous season highest league achieved, and people complain about it, so they're implementing this, and we'll see how it goes. But this seems better from a day to day perspective. I think people will enjoy the day to day grind, and are not so worried about the season grind. Like, again, my experience, and kind of going back to this, my experience for this second season is that I did not care about my daily focus. There's many days in which I did not get a chest, but that just for me wasn't my focus. I just went in and tried to win as many games as possible because I knew the wisdom from last season was that, like, okay, well, just getting the wins are important, and when I get to season end, it's going to be fun, right? And there's going to be a lot of value there, and I can wait and hold off until then.
yep, absolutely. Yeah. So so for me, and you may not know this, but even if you make it to champion, it is highly likely that you'll get pushed back to diamond many times during the season. So
Yeah. Oh, that just happened to me. So
yes,
Darkestnyte said to buy summoners, not with fiat, but with earnings. But how much can we really buy? Maybe 4 to 5 summoners BCX a month.
that's great.
Yeah, unless maybe
Right.
he means if we're yeah. Well, Yellow, you should talk to Justin. I mean, I know this is going to change, but I think Justin rents most of his deck in champion and comes away in the profits
Big time.
in dollars or maybe even tens of dollars. So,
Hey.
anyway, what's going on? All right. So yes, preach Darkestnyte. Purchase all button, please.
There we go.
Chief Monsters needs to add this. I hate clicking 50 plus button. Yeah, that would help. Alex is in the house. It's going to Alex. This Fire Summoner needs some kind of amplifiable ability.
Oh
I
no.
own way too many heat smiths now.
Oh my God, that would be devastating. But we already have it though, right? We have the monster with it. The God, what's that thing called again?
Vinar Heathsmith, right?
Yes, it's crazy.
Yeah, I know you've been talking about that a lot better in Champion. A max out Kelly for $2.82. Oh, per BCX.
Yeah.
Been playing for almost a year now. Investment down, but for some reason I'm extremely bullish on this game. Darkestnyte, perfect addiction to the perfect addition. Also addiction to the show.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well,
We're just having fun. We're just having fun.
Which we just, you know what this is? We literally were just messaging each other all the time. Now it's just like, all right, hey, well, let's just have our coffee together on Sunday mornings and chat. I'm in goal. Once I hit 3,000, it's like a wall for me now. I mean, that's 3,000 is like leaderboard level for gold, isn't it? So that's pretty.
So that happens a lot, right? So, and you can see it happening to everybody, right? So you hit a wall. So what's the wall? I think it's like 3,000 ranking. Then it's 3,200. Then it starts right at like 3,600, right when you're about to go into champion. And then it's a wall. You keep taking losses, pushing you back down to like 3,400. It's brutal, right? It just happens. I think it happens to everybody at every ranking. And who knows, maybe it's just the excitement of being able to go to that next level. You get a little careless, and then you just start taking those losses. Masshole, who's a guild member of ours, recommends taking a break. Right after a string of wins, just taking a break, walking away, clearing your head, and then come back.
Yeah. Also after a string of losses.
Yes.
I tried to do that too, but it's so frustrating. I just want to get one win and then walk away. Yeah. Obsidian, $2.13 per. Is Obsidian really that cheap right now? What? Say what?
Yeah, Obsidian's a good card too.
Obsidian is at the gates. Oh, if you get a maxed out.
Yeah, that's a. I mean, if I didn't already have one, I probably would not financial advice, but if
It's
you need
it's
one, man, any summoner in the 200 range, it's fantastic.
yeah. Brian, here's your financial advice. If you think that card could bring you happiness and joy and value in the game, it doesn't matter what the price is. Go
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
My wall at the start of Champ 3 to Champ 2. Is that the same wall you're hitting right now, Darkest Night?
Yeah, but again, but my wall is self-inflicted, right? So I'm just again, I
Oh,
don't really.
because of the card delegation?
Yeah. So next season, I don't think I'll have
Oh
that.
man, I cannot wait for next season. I feel like you're gonna be hitting leaderboards early.
Maybe we'll see. It
Well,
doesn't make me a better. The cards don't make me a better player though. So still have to focus on that,
well,
right?
well, okay. So actually, this is a good question to ask. We'll get back to the chat in a second. This is a good question to ask. How many games did you have where you could definitely look at a loss, for example, and say, if I had such and such Chaos Legion card or this card, that would have helped?
Man, that's kind of hard to say, right? Because again, with different rule sets and things like that. But
Mhm.
I would say, if I had to just really just answer the question, I would say maybe 20% of the time.
Okay. I
There,
mean,
there are some really good like for green, every battle, right? Because
yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of green cards, so let's take that out of it. But if you look at the cards I do have, right, the problem for me this season is, so for example, I don't have an alternative. If I want to play, water, I'm only going to play Valdemar, right? Because I don't have Kelia. So if you know that and you look at my past history, you'll see, oh, this guy doesn't have Kelia. He only has, Valimor.
Valimor,
I
yeah.
will protect against magic, right?
Mhm.
Because most people, if they have Valimor, they're going to play it, right? They're not going to not play it, right? Just based on the percentage chance of that they're going to win. But that you have to basically then anticipate that that person will do that. I have Yodin, right? I don't have Tarsa. So I find against me, a lot of people play um, Elmo Cambio, right? And then
Mhm.
right behind it, they'll put there's another card that they put that reflects,
Yeah.
rain back, and I get torn to shreds,
Yeah.
right? So even sometimes I'll even see Lear Deep
Deep
Swimmer.
swimmer.
Like, who plays that? Well, if you know that somebody's going to play Jotun, you're going to play it.
Yeah.
So
I just think having Kelia back in your deck is going to do wonders for you. I also wonder for poison rule sets, what's his name is so powerful. The Forgotten One.
oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I
So,
so I do miss that, but here's the thing, right? I have for my Jotun deck, I have a set of cards that I just like, and even if I lose, it's still very competitive, right? Um,
mhm.
what is it, Serpentine Warrior or Serpentine
Okay.
Soldiers? I love that card, right? Super fast. It has thorns. I put Phineas Rage right behind it, just in case somebody puts a wall up. So it's good.
Yeah. All right. So far as asking a random thought, but will anyone be able to reach Champ 1 in Wild if there are not as many
For sure.
players in it? Uh, I think there'll still be enough players in there. Yeah, you're planning to play in Wild, right? For the
Yes,
most part.
absolutely. Yeah. Well, so that was part of the experiment, right? To see if I could break up my collection and play both. So maybe,
Hmm. Actually, that'd be interesting.
yeah,
Would you just delegate to a separate account, do one account and Wild?
maybe.
Okay.
Or pick up maybe some scholars or something like that. I mean, I haven't really thought about it yet.
Yeah.
We'll see what the implementation looks like. Now, my hope is there are two separate ECRs. And I don't know right now that that's kind of the direction they're going, but that would be nice.
I don't think so. I feel like I've heard the opposite, but
Right,
again, we don't have all the information just
right.
yet. Yeah, until it's on the post.
Yeah.
It's called tilting in poker when you play worse from losing or winning. Learn
Yes.
something new.
Yep.
Uh, can they just wail on the people playing champion? I don't know what that means. They can just wail. Financial advice: be super rich and then don't even read prices.
That's terrible advice.
I mean, no, you know what? That's great advice. If you can find a way to be super rich, then come
Yeah.
back and enjoy the game.
But how do super rich people become poor again?
That's true. That's true. What does Darkestnyte think is the best buy now overall? Rewards cards or Chaos Legion cards or just summoners? Or question mark?
Oh, so for value, right? So, and again, we're going to go straight value and impact to be competitive. I would say Quicks for sure, because it allows you to play multiple splinters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's basically like getting 2 summoners for the price of 1, and the price is good, right?
Oh, it's
So
under $20. I think I'm gonna max out my quicks now.
yes, so it's a great card, right? It's kind of kitty 0.3, right? So instead of giving you speed, it's going to reduce the speed of your opponent, right? So that's kind of like giving you your team speed. It does have the minus to range, which I don't even know if it needs that, but it's a great card and it allows you to be again competitive.
Yeah,
It's a great card. I mean, it's a fantastic card. Heck, I might max out another one.
just to have it. Yeah. Oh, it looks like the prices recovered a little bit, but now we're kind of swiftly in the $2 range here. So
Yeah. So I mean, Chaos Legion just on the whole, all of the summoners are really well, except for General Sloan. But
I like General. You know what General Sloan's good against? Myler. Myler's the poor man's Jotun.
yeah, you know what?
Oh, sorry. Sloan is the poor man's Jotun against Myler.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But yeah, I would say yeah, Quicks is great. Kelly, of course, is fantastic. Obsidian, fantastic if you don't have a strong green deck. And again, and it's so magic focused right now, right? With all those good cards in there. You know, Queen Mycelia is just outrageous. Have you read the lore on Queen Mycelia?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's so good.
Let's see.
Like I would say, and you work with Nate, right?
Yeah.
Like these guys, and I've said this before, the lore for these cards is absolutely phenomenal. Like there's a lot of thought put into that.
This is crazy. Yeah, so Queen Mycelia hasn't shown up in any of like the lore videos that we work on.
Yeah.
So I haven't actually gone through and read her story, but I'll do that.
So I don't know. So after I read the lore, I made a post in our guild chat. And I said Queen Mycelia should be in death.
Death, right?
Reason why I'm like she should not be in green. She should be in death.
I respond. I'm like, can you imagine how good that would be? If...
Oh, it would be just ridiculous.
It's so good.
Yeah. Actually, bring up your stats real quick. I just want to I think that like just a phenomenal. Like, look at all of that.
So good.
Like,
just
wow.
Out of control.
Yeah. Like that for me is a classic example of what you want to have for a legendary card in Splinterlands. Like that is just so not overpowered, but gives you a boost to your team. Like that's a perfect legendary card.
It's interesting to see a lot of these legendary cards with very very complementary abilities, I feel like.
Oh yeah. Like thinking of this card. Like this card will give you armor, take 2 armor away,
yeah.
then maximize any of the reflect damage or thorns damage. I mean, it's and then if you even take some damage, guess what? I'm gonna heal you.
Yeah. That triage is so because I love the thing is, in a way, she makes sense with Obsidian, or at least it's nice to pair with Obsidian because then you can throw her and Spirit Hoarder. Like one of my favorite teams to play is her, Spirit Hoarder, and Mycelic Slip Spawn in the last spot.
Yes.
And then like they can't do anything because they can never make it past the double triage.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. It's just, I mean, again, I'm not trying to hype up this card, but there's so many with Chaos Legion in general. Whoever's responsible for balance and just all of that, I mean, they just knocked it out of the park. They just really knocked it out of the park. Because you worry, right? You worry about power creep, right? In all games like this, right? When you release a new set, you don't want to, invalidate the older cards, and you want to basically protect card value. And that, again, I think they did a great job with that.
No, I like it too. One of my favorite. I play. I play her with Dr. Blight in those like 12, 13 mana games.
Oh yeah.
And to me, it's just, like with Obsidian, I'm just like this. I call them the king and queen of chaos because like that
Oh,
team is difficult to beat, right?
right.
Granted, in a lot of situations you can still beat them, but low
Yeah.
mana, like the fact that you can throw her in with a chicken, with a fiend, and all of a sudden there's just so many layers to get through, and
Yeah.
then you have Dr. Blight just kind of tearing things up, poisoning everybody. So
Oh yeah.
it's a lot of fun. I find that Obsidian is cool, but if it's your only Earth Summoner, it's kind of the same. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm finding to be the case is now. It's the only one that I have.
So for me though, and again, this was so to Justin's point earlier, like why didn't I buy Mylar when Dice was out? Because I was still working on the previous set, right? And I don't know if you guys remember, once Dice heated up, once Untamed sold out, it wasn't long after that that Dice sold out, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it went fast, like super, super fast. I remember at one point there were like I think 20,000 packs maybe. And then immediately went down to 2,000 packs. I was scrambling to get some deck because you couldn't buy it with
Yeah.
credits, right? You had to use DC. And I was trying to move DC around and then literally it sold out. And I was like, what just happened? And those cards were always very expensive. They've just now started dropping. So you know, and I would have been focused on death anyway, right? So Oster
Mm-hmm.
he was the big thing that I wanted. But if I'd been thinking differently, I would have gotten the Mylar.
Well, we're kind of approaching
Yeah,
the next million.
yeah, we're close.
Should make it good.
And with the price of DC dropping, people are buying packs now, right? It's cost effective to do so.
Yeah. Let's see, where's the EC at? Man, you know, I'm not trying to be like a market bear, but like I would love for prices to stay down or even go down a little bit lower.
Oh, this is
I want to see DEC hit 0.0005.
Oh yeah, and then I think you'll see those packs like just disappear.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Mycelia is probably my most used card. I love her.
Yeah,
Good counter to Wrath. Ooh, that's true in the
yeah,
highest
yeah.
levels. Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think any card that has Rust is going to be good when Wrath comes, right?
You know what's interesting is that the way that they're releasing these summoners is going to affect the meta of the game temporarily, right? Because it's like only Life is going to have a legendary summoner for a while. And so it'll make something like Queen Mycelia really good. And not that Queen Mycelia will be bad, but it's like the fact that they're not all coming out at the same time is interesting because like the game meta is going to change slightly. And then when the Fire Summoner comes out, it's going to change slightly more. And yeah.
Right. We just had a major meta change with the introduction of the new rewards
Cards,
and
yeah.
that's been pretty. Again, where they're being used, they almost always guarantee a win if they're used in the right place, right? Like Bloodmaker, it's just crazy, and it's super cheap, right? It's super cheap and it's super awesome.
How many mana is Bloodmaker?
5.
Okay.
So you match him with Gem Meteor with Jotun, and you're just ripping up a team.
That's so crazy because I can't imagine that he's that good.
That good, dude. It is that good.
Really? Okay.
Now, and again, if you see somebody playing it, because we can predict, then you can, you can prepare for it, right? But the thing with Scattershot is it ignores taunt, right? So all those strategies around taunt are negated.
But okay, but here's my question for you. I'm sorry, let's go back to the market. What situation? Because I know you have this other card too. So in what situation would you use Bloodmaker over another 5 mana Phyrexia General that is snipe? So you know it's gonna hit at whatever level you need to, plus it gives Inspire, plus it gives Shatter.
Right. So the problem with that card, which is a great card, right? So because it's going to hit for 5, right? Meaning that the cards around it are going to be 3. The problem is it's easily negated by putting Almo Cambio in the front, right? And it'll get reflected back up.
Okay. Oh,
right?
so if somebody's anticipating where you're going to fire that
Oh,
shot.
absolutely.
Got
With scatter shot, they can't anticipate where it's going to go. I can't anticipate where it's going to go, right? So, but I know that it's at max level, it's going to do 5 points of damage. And it's going to do hopefully 3 to the characters or the monsters around it, right? That's a
Yeah.
super win. And again, totally can't be well, it can be prevented, right? But I think it's OP. I think
Well, okay. I mean, I'll agree with you on that because you pair with Yoden and it really doesn't matter
right,
where it hits, right? And part of the strategy or the meta then at that point is you avoid being predictable when your opponent is trying to counter you. So
absolutely. Yeah, and again, I think I win more than I probably should before that. But again, with the introduction of the reflect shield, right now it's a lot harder to do that strategy.
Mhm.
Because there are 2 cards in. I mean, I think in like for death, I have the neutral version of with guy with the reflect shield, and I have the revealer, right? So 2 cards with reflect shield. And depending on this on the positioning, you can it's a pretty good blast protection.
Gotcha. Okay. And he's got pretty good speed too at the higher
Oh yeah,
levels.
yeah, yep,
He's way faster. Yep. Okay, that's fair.
yep.
So Yella's saying, I think prices will go down for Chaos Legion after airdrop as packs just begin to be opened. I mean, that's
Yeah.
again what I'm thinking too. So I'm holding off now, but I wouldn't say that it's a terrible idea to average in just in case, right? Like if you buy a couple summoners now, how much lower can they go? Will we see $1 summoners? Will we see 50 cents? Oh my god! If we see 50 cent summoners, I feel like you'll be scooping them up.
I will. So this is the time of the players, right? Like the investors, as prices go down, investors will more than likely go seek greener pastures, right? It will
Mhm.
be the time of the players, like it was before, last year,
Yeah.
before the big, bear market. I mean, bull market from last year. This will be our time to play and get good decks and, really fill in those gaps, for our decks, for sure.
I think investors really will only come back once we get closer to the end of the pack sales. But
Maybe. So
sure. I mean, they could come in sooner than that. But like, if you're an investor right now and you're seeing how slow pack sales are going, you could probably take whatever capital you have and flip it for something else rather than buying these packs and waiting for them to sell out.
yes. So yeah, I agree with that 100%. Right. So we'll kind of see. Right. Most good investors know that the bear market is a good time to buy assets. The
Mhm.
problem is predicting which ones will still be around a year from now. That's really the bigger problem.
Mm,
So we all have faith in Splinterlands, right? All the developers are doing what they need to do.
yeah.
So I think there's a very high likelihood that Splinterlands will be, around. And I think what will help us get through the bear market will be the implementation of land. I think that's going to be super
Hopefully.
critical, right? In the
Yeah.
time frame, right? Q4 it's do or die time, right? And so if you look at some of the games that we've been waiting for, right, like Illuvium, like I don't even go and look at what the status of that is anymore, right? I'm just like, yeah, whatever, right? But every day we're talking about Splinterlands, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Well, are they even doing like any AMAs or stuff for Illuvium?
I
It's
haven't
just
seen anything.
mum is the word.
I haven't seen anything. And maybe they come out, but I think by the time they do come out, Splinterlands will have their own version of
Yeah.
game, in land, right?
I,
And they would
yeah.
be smart to do that, right?
I would want them. I would want them leading the space on land, not following. So it'd be great if they could do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Jacqueline, what's going on? Thank you so much. Good to have you here. So maybe after I try to be waiting. Yeah, again, Yellow. I mean, you run the risk of things doing exactly the opposite of what we expect them to do
Yeah.
after the airdrop. But like I said, I'm making my decision. I'm going to live with it. So
Right. See, I mean, here's the thing, right? So, what was it, 6 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, after Santa and I were talking, and I said I made the decision to max out my summoners, right, for all of my Chaos Legion summoners. After that, and again, I looked at prices. I don't even pay attention to the prices of them now because I'm already done, right? I'm not going to flip them. I'm not going to sell them, but I have them. right? And so now I can focus on really taking advantage of cards like Bloodmaker, right? That costs a penny right now. I'm not having to worry about my summoners and when I can use them. I can use them maxed out right now. And I think that's a just the act of being done with the collection, or as much of it as I can, it allows me to enjoy the game a lot better.
Yeah.
So
it's a good way to look at it. So if they play the common defensive team of failed summoner Elmo. Oh, okay. You're talking about the defensive structure.
Oh yeah, that defensive team. It's brutal, right?
Yes.
And, which is why I bought Elmo. I said, okay,
Yeah.
I'm tired of losing to this thing.
Well, not. I mean, the thing is, if you have a kitty, you got to have an Elmo, right? So, or if you have an Elmo, you should have a kitty.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes it almost impossible.
Yes.
Eden Bloodmaker, Lava Launcher. Oh, this is a very fast
Oh
team.
yeah. It's crazy.
Alex, should I sell 100 packs and buy DEC and buy the packs back with solo? I don't know. You'd have to run the math on that. But if you're not going to get if you're not going to get a guaranteed airdrop, I don't know. You might not be worth it. If you were doing enough to get a guaranteed airdrop, then sure, you could justify that. Because I mean, I don't know. I feel like, especially if you do it now and you're guaranteed to get all 6, like 1 BCX of all 6 legendary summoners, then you could calculate that into your losses. So
what you're anticipating is that the price of DEC will drop. Right? That's what this is. That's what you're saying here. The problem is that at any point in time, Yabamad and Aggroed could come out and say, hey, we're making this cool change and pump DEC like crazy. And you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Because they've done that, right? They've done lots of things at the last minute and have changed the game, right? Have changed everything. And so it's highly volatile based on what the actions of someone else.
For sure,
right?
For sure.
Yeah. So, and these guys are on it, man. They don't want it they want to keep DC at peg, right? So they're going to do things that will encourage it to get right back to peg, right? So
that's for sure. Spam investors will wait for the next bull market. Stock Jockey, I've won 11 battles in a row while listening to you. Thank you for the Splendor Talk. Well, hopefully we're your good luck charm.
Yeah.
I'm thinking out loud. Whoa, Jacqueline, thank you for the super sticker. That's very generous of you. This is like
a couple of cups of coffee there.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to do a giveaway to celebrate. That is really kind of you and very generous. Don't you just love these guys? Look at this Darkestnyte. I'm about to blush. I'm getting uncomfortable now. No, Jacqueline, thank you. I really appreciate it. We're going to pay it forward with the community here. I've earned 25 chests while listening. All right, Darkestnyte,
we said we were going to play today while we were doing this too.
We need to stop playing or stop talking and just start playing.
I'm going to open up that pack that I just got.
Do you want to share it?
Sure. Yeah, I think I'm sharing that.
All right.
Oh, guess what I'm purchasing? I just purchased some potions, so maybe I should be getting a few chests. No, just kidding. See, like I said before, right? If I want potions, I'll just buy them, right? I don't need them in the chest. So, all right, here we go.
And you can buy them for DEC now too, because they're technically cheaper, which is great. Yep. Jacqueline, it's from you and Stock Jockey. All right. Well, thank you also to Stock Jockey. Cheers. We're gonna go ahead and pay this forward with a giveaway. I'll give away some packs.
All right, let's see what we got.
Let's just see if Darkestnyte can get some gold.
Oh, Gargoyle Scrapper. It's another one of those cards that I don't think I would ever use, but in the right circumstance, it's great.
You know what I like it for? It's an awesome void tank in level Sunkai Harvester.
Too funny.
Oh man, that's great.
That was pretty funny. All right, so nothing.
That's cool.
Nothing good.
All right. Let's do a couple giveaways and then we can wrap up. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds great.
All right. I need to do, what is that called? Here we go. Participants. All right, guys. So we're gonna give away a couple packs. So make sure you thank Jacqueline for her generosity. We just want to pay it forward to the community here. I am going to pull in the participants. So if you have not chatted in a couple of minutes, again, I'm not fishing for comments, but feel free to just type something in so that you show up under the participants thing here. And we'll be good to go. View live in control room, and then I'll pull in participants for that. What the heck, Jacqueline? Was this number 2? Shoot, we're gonna give away even more packs. All right, this is very kind. Thank you. I sincerely appreciate it. I'm not used to super chat stickers. This is fun.
That is new, right? That is new.
That is new. Yeah, I know. Well, thank you, Jacqueline. I mean it. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be coy. This is an amazing community, and as Darkestnyte has said in the past, like we just want to be able to pay it forward as much as possible. So thank you for that. All right, let's go here. So now I'm going to go to participants. I'm going to copy everybody in. And I don't know, should we do like 4 packs?
Do it.
Let's do
I'll
4
send
packs.
you one.
Oh, if you're going to send me one, we'll do 5 packs.
Yep.
All right. So I got everybody in. And where is this wheel of names? Oh, let me go ahead and share my screen. You guys can see it, hopefully, if it works. All right. Take out the one from last time. I don't need to win my own packs. I can remove myself. All right, cool. We got 42 people. This is exciting. All right, let me go ahead and just remove all the blanks. What do you got planned for the rest of the day, Darkestnyte?
Gonna relax.
I'm Sunday gaming. Sunday
yes.
beach
you know
time?
what? Yes, you know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep on grinding out and just have fun. I'm supposed to be playing Solaris with a buddy of mine today, so I might do
fun.
Yeah.
Wait, Solaris, is that the survival game?
No, so it's a space galactic conquest game.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking
It's
something else.
super hard. It's very complex, and it's just brutal. But I like it because you can go through different quests and science. I used to be a scientist, so I love just the act of finding new technologies and such like that. So my buddy is big into war. So while I'm researching science, he's building up an armada, and then will eventually come and wipe me out. So that's all right. I'm a man of peace.
This sounds fascinating. I miss like I used to play all those like RTS games where Age of Empires and StarCraft.
Oh, I love them.
I want to jump. I don't know that Solaris is like that, but I would, if I had more time, I would love to jump back into that.
Yeah, so I still play StarCraft 2, like what is 8 years in. I still play a couple times a week.
I still play StarCraft 1. I never got into StarCraft 2. Am I missing out?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
I will get into it.
Yeah, but you're an FPS guy, right? So you like
No, I'm not.
Really? Oh.
I did FPS because like it's fun, but I suck at it.
Yeah,
what I really enjoy is the it's fun to stream it because I suck at it. So like everyone, it's funny because I was streaming Fortnite for the longest time, and people liked the stream because I was
so
like
bad,
trying to flex on them. Yeah, it was just funny. It's just like, dude, look at how bad this dude is. It's almost funny to watch him play.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
I get so there is one game that's an FPS that I absolutely love. It is Call of Duty Ghost.
Okay.
And it is by far one of the best Call of Duty games, but for one specific reason, right? There's a mode in it called for killing cryptids, right? So they're basically aliens, but they're not really aliens, which is ironic. But you go through these different maps and you have objectives that you have to complete. And I absolutely love that, like shooting aliens in the face. Wait, can I say that on YouTube?
Shooting aliens in the face? Yeah, I
Is
think
that
so.
okay? Okay, I don't know.
I mean, they're aliens, right?
So,
You're
yeah.
shooting with lasers. It goes pew pew pew. It's fine. It's fine.
I
Yeah,
want to make
we're good.
sure that I'm not offensive to the aliens. So I don't know, right?
Well, if the
So,
aliens are listening into this chat,
well,
then
then we have bigger problems. Exactly.
we do.
So, but I mean, it's an awesome game, and you do it co-op. I love co-op games, right? So when you have a team of just people that are equally into it too,
Mhm.
and you're just achieving these objectives, it's really good. You have different weapons and you have different specializations as well, so it's fantastic.
Gotcha.
So anyway, sorry,
I would no,
way off, way off.
you know what what's funny,
Yeah.
Darkest Night? We've had so many conversations about so many different topics in
Yeah.
life, but I don't think we've ever talked about games outside of Switzerland. You
Yeah.
mentioned games that you're playing, but we never talked
Yeah.
about like the different types
Yeah.
of games. Like,
We should do a
just
show. We should do one. In fact, we should play one.
we should.
Right?
That
Yeah,
that
we should
that could
totally
be kind
play
of
one.
fun. All right.
Yeah.
We'll find a time for that. All right, let's do these giveaways. So I think we're doing 5 packs. I'm just gonna pull 5 names from this wheel right now. So best of luck to everybody here. And I'm gonna write these down in a separate notepad or something so that we can just boom right through them. So first
Nice.
winner is we. Please give me your IGN when you can. I'm gonna check.
I
the
think
comments.
that's Will because the middle one is shorter.
Is it
maybe.
Will? Sorry,
I think it's Will.
It's okay if I just say
They'll have to let us know.
We is so much more fun.
It is more fun, actually.
Yup, out of that with a win.
Nice.
Out of that with the win. Go ahead and confirm your IGN for me, please. We got 3 more packs that we are giving away. Oh.
Diego.
Looks like we got Diego Hernandez. All right.
Oh, it is we.
It is we?
Yeah.
It's okay. You can call me we. Yes.
That's awesome.
Alex. Congratulations. Bernard. Okay. And one more for good luck. This one's from Darkestnyte, so make sure you thank Darkestnyte. And we got Keon Lee. Congratulations. All right. So throw your IGNs into the chat. I'm going to type them in or try to grab them whenever I can. And then thank you, Darkestnyte. I'll send these out. And then we can just do some closing thoughts. Again, Jacqueline, thank you so much for the generosity. Darkestnyte, thank you for taking the time today. Do you want to talk about what games you're playing and maybe what we should do while I send these out?
We're not. I mean, again, we're all playing
too.
the game, right? We're all playing, Splinterlands. We're coming up at the end of the season. So how many more hours do we have left? We have 3 days, 21 hours. I think I'm just going to grind it out and try to get to 80 chests, right? And then after that, I think I'll be done for the season.
So you don't have wait, so you'll be done for the season after what?
After I get to 80 chests.
Oh,
Let
80
my
chests,
ECR,
okay.
Yeah, let my ECR rest a little bit and prepare to go into the season. But then again, I might just say, you know what? Let's go.
I'm curious to know if it's going to take you a little bit longer this time around, just because of where your ECR currently is at and the limited time left in the season.
It might. So right now I'm at 35. And I'll tell you, I've been down to single-digit ECR.
I know.
And hold on, let me see how many games I've
impressive
played this season. So far, I'm at 884 games, wins 417. If you look at average, I'm one of the higher ones. That means I'm playing like all the time, right? There's one guy. There's a few that have more, right, but not many. So yeah. And that's because my ECR is so low, right? To make progress, I have to play more games.
Yeah. But the thing is, the higher up in champ you climb, the more R shares you're getting, hopefully, right?
Ideally. Yep. And that's why I've been doing it, right? That's why I say, just ignore ECR. And again, the formula takes care of you at higher levels, right? So when your ranking goes up, so if I can get over 4,000, then ECR becomes much less relevant.
Yeah.
So it's when it's low and it's when I get pushed back that it really hurts.
Yeah. Like those losing streaks, then it
Yeah.
just because it's exponential, right? It's cubed. So
Yep. And that cubing is awesome. So I think the formula itself is great.
Yeah.
Maybe if they want to help out someone like me, then cut the ECR, you know, relevancy in half, right? So maybe ECR divided by 2, and then that's the calculation, right? So, or something, or multiply it by 2, or whatever it's going to be, right?
Yeah.
So I just think that it's a disincentive for me to play, but only so much of a disincentive, right? It's not going to. I mean, I'm just going to suck it up.
Oh, again, like I haven't even been paying attention to my ECR lately. It's a matter of just trying to get to the level. Now, aside from the 80 chests, do you have a rating or league? Like, do you want to try to finish in Champ 2? Right?
Yeah, Champ 2 for sure. And then next season, I'm going to make the run for Champ 1. Right, I've never done that before, and I think I can get there. Right, I mean, I was close last season. So to your point about having the specific cards that are necessary to be like really competitive, I think that'll adjust, right? So and it'll allow me to be a little bit more competitive. But you know, if there's a card that I mean, I've made some good purchases this, you know, when the prices dipped. So I think you know, getting Alamo Cambia was a big part of it. There's a few others that I got. You know, trying with some of the new reward cards, I think will be pretty good.
Gotcha. Cool. All right, I sent out the packs. I think everybody's got them. It looks like somebody won a Grum out of a pack, so congratulations.
Nice.
That is awesome.
That's awesome.
Very cool. Let me see if there's any other chat that I missed. I know I missed a bunch, so I'm sorry, guys. For COD, I like Zombie plus mods.
Zombies are good too, but I like fighting aliens. And the story for Ghost, when you go through each of the modules, it builds, right? And you can find lore. Again, I'm a lore junkie, right? So I love to hear about the world and the universe, and you know, kind of immerse myself into it. And the Ghost does a really great job of that.
Have you heard of Artosis? I don't know what Artosis is. Sorry, Yellow. I've not watched it. Still play Brood War. All right, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, Brood War.
Brood Wars go on. What's going on, Osku? All right, we're about to wrap up here. Just want to try to catch any chat that I missed, and I'm sorry. I know I missed a bunch of them. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. I guess or for some people, it might be Monday already. My name is never on that wheel. State of Survival. So I need people to chat. So I usually just give like a warning or an announcement for everybody to chat. So I'm sorry you weren't on there today, but we'll do more in the future. Everything's congratulating everybody.
Next time we will I'll say, hey, is State of Survival on that wheel? So I'll be the official watchdog.
Official watcher.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that StarCraft 1 is better than StarCraft 2. I've just never played StarCraft 2. I never put in the time. I put many hours, probably days of my life. Also, I do not want to box Darkestnyte. Darkestnyte is like in his athletic prime right now, so
no, actually I'm not. So,
I hear you hitting the gym every day.
So I mean, any of those games are good, right? So I mean, I don't have a preference for one or two. I remember, 20 years ago playing Warcraft, not even World of Warcraft, Warcraft, doing LAN gaming, after work. So yeah, I have no preference. They're all good.
I remember playing the original Warcraft, and my mind was just blown.
Oh yeah, same for me.
So
I was like, this is incredible, right? We played till our eyes were red in the morning. I mean, it was crazy because that was the birth of really the modern gaming that we have now.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so someone got a Grum. Amazing. Congratulations. So good luck to everybody on your packs. Good luck to everybody on season. Oh, actually, I'll probably be streaming on Tuesday before the season ends. So we will chat then. Sean Michael, we missed you too. All right, Darkest. Yeah, there's always the replay. Boxing for fun is my point. right, we're gonna be in Vegas, right? So
We could do
celebrity boxing
corporate.
match.
We could do corporate boxing matches. You guys ever heard of that?
Yeah.
So they have people that are at basically offices,
Hmm.
corporate people that don't do anything athletic, train them up a little bit, and then throw them in the ring and let them just beat
Just
the
let them.
crap out of each other.
All right,
Yes.
let's see if we can start something here, Darkest Night.
Yeah, I don't know
Uh,
if I want to start that. Absolutely not.
yeah, I was gonna say if you could box one person on the Splinterlands team, who would it be in
Oh,
Vegas?
well, I tell you who it wouldn't be. It would not be Aggro because he looks like he could really hold his own. Um, I would go with Yabba because
Really?
he's
Yo.
smart, man. I don't know. I've never seen him, right? But
Okay.
he's super smart. So you got to hope that he's all mental and no physical. But I definitely would not. And Nate looks like a big guy, right?
So
So,
he'd knock you out too?
well, I don't know if he knocked me out.
Ah, okay.
Let's not go there. But those guys all look like they can hold their own. So, and it looks like they work out, right? So I'm like, yeah,
To work
I'm
out.
not gonna do that.
Yeah, well, if you knock out Yabba Matt, you might have the entire Splinterlands army and all of
Oh,
their
I would
bots
never.
come after you.
That's why I don't even want to know. But I'm still trying to play Splinterlands and beat him. He crushes me every time. So that
Yeah,
maybe that'll be our arena,
that's
right?
your arena.
Is I just want to get
Gosh,
one win on him.
I hope they do some cool competition stuff there, like
I'm
in-person
sure they will.
competition.
Yeah, I just want to get one win on him. I'll take that link and I'll plaster it everywhere.
Oh, here you go. Darkestnyte versus Weirdbeard.
That might be even. But he looks like he's pretty can hold his own too. So.
Yeah. I don't know. Aggro looks like a pro wrestler.
He does. Totally does. Like, stay away from Aggro. He'll hit it's like a chair. And the fact that it's in Vegas too.
It's in
Right?
Vegas. Anything
Yeah,
goes.
no, that feels like his hometown turf, right? He just wrestler hit you on the head with a chair and it's all over.
All right, Luthien in Vegas, you will be boxing Yabba Matt. So we'll see.
There we go.
You can continue the win streak there.
Yeah. I just want to win one time against him, just one.
Which the Yabba Matt account, right?
Yeah.
So I beat that M Rosen account, which I assumed was his. People said it may not be his. So
because I've beaten that account too, right?
Okay.
But a lot of good cards, right?
Yeah. No,
but most of Yabba's are gold cards, right?
Okay.
And just superior playing, right? Like I'm like, dude, it shouldn't be working. So yeah, I'm super like just, and the problem is it can't tell you. You don't know who you're playing until you submit your team. If I knew who I was playing, I would be researching and I'd use every minute of every bit of that 2 minutes. So
if I was playing Yabba Matt, or if I knew that I was playing him, I don't even know what I would play at that point. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Last question, then we'll go.
Yeah.
So if you knew that you were playing Yabba Matt, and then we can't do this anymore, but if you knew that you were playing him and whatever deck he might have, what is your go-to? Play,
Kitty, of course. Kitty, huh? Let's go, Kitty.
Kitty and who? Yeah. But like name your team.
So
like, it could be anything.
Team, I'll tell you right now. Hold on. So
and now we can't do this because Yabba Matt's going to do his research and he'll be able to know what.
No, he doesn't care about me. But I just want to know. It would be Kitty, and then I would go to Water as my if I had access to it. I would go with the Kraken, right?
Okay.
So for taunt, the taunt's going to be critical.
Yep.
My favorite Water card right now, outside of Kraken, of course, is Genoshanas. Love it, and because of the dodge or the phase, right?
Phase, yeah.
And even if it hits, I'm gonna have the force field, right? That force field is just ridiculous. Then Phantom of the Abyss, Ruler of the Seas, and then sometimes I play Narissa Tridon, but I might even put Murdali Guardian in, right? Just to get some heal. The problem is that if I get stuck with Affliction, then I need to have, and if that was something I thought he would play, then I would add in the River Nymph. I think that's 7 cards. Yeah. No, it's 6 cards. So it would depend on what the rule set is.
Gotcha. Okay. No way. I couldn't risk hurting him. Everyone will hate me. Look at this.
Yes,
Luthien,
exactly.
Luthien knows she's about to lay the beat down. She's like, I can't do it. I can't
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
And here's the
It'd be funny
thing,
when you
right?
have to lose.
Oh, hey, Modern and Wild is delayed because I'm in recovery. Yeah, there would be a riot.
Oh man, if they delay Modern Wild past Splinterfest, I'll jump in the
Oh,
boxing
yeah,
ring
yeah.
with you. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. No, but that would be a good place to reveal it, right? Is or at least part of it. So, yep.
Yeah, we don't talk about.
And I
We
have
don't
one
talk.
last
We don't
question
talk
for
about
you. How are
Splinterfest.
you
Go ahead.
doing on the Guild Brawl?
I need to do mine today, so I'm doing the
Yeah.
gold foil bronze one. So I'm gonna go through a rental situation.
Yeah, I'll
Again.
send you. So we have cards. I mean, I have a gold playlist that I can just send over. It's all random gold cards. So
Sure. Whatever you have would be
yeah,
helpful. I mean, if you're not using it today, because
I'm not.
I think we have like 20 hours left. So because I picked the bronze one now because it's easier for me to just go
Yeah,
rent one BCX bronze cards.
yeah,
I'm gonna leave the gold ones for Masshole, even though he's not even gonna. I
yeah.
think he said he's selling his gold foil deck now, right?
I
To go for
think
a
so.
maxed out deck.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, awesome. Thanks you so much for coming through, spending your Sunday morning with us.
Yeah.
Darkestnyte, thanks for hanging out as always.
Yep.
We'll go ahead and end it here. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Take care.